Howdy, y'all. Welcome to episode 30 of CardBlitz. I'm your host, Kelly Reed, joined by my good buddy, Patrick Marshall. Patrick, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing? How you doing, Kelly?
Doing well, man. The dog days of August are upon us. It's a busy week in the card world. And sports world-wise, there's a lot going on too, man.
Yeah, there is. It's busy. This August kicks off some fun though.
Yeah, but this week, you sports-wise, you've got the MLB trade deadline coming up tomorrow, and then you've got the NFL Hall of Fame game coming up, and I think
Yeah.
there's a birthday to celebrate, and there's the National in Chicago right now. There's a lot to talk about. So, what do you want to get into first, man?
Do you want to kick us off with you want to do the birthday boy?
Sure, let's do that, man.
Okay. All right. Today, this person turned 62 years old, born in 1963, the one and only Chris Mullins.
All right.
He was a great NBA basketball player. This right here is a 91, 92, I believe, Upper Deck. We were getting into this, and I was looking, just looking at some stuff about Chris Mullins. Dude, he was a great player in the NBA. I mean, inducted a basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, I didn't realize all the details. Played a long time, like 17 seasons. So
mainly with was the Warriors and the Pacers, right? A short
Yep.
time with the Pacers, I think.
Yeah, he played the Warriors. I think 12, maybe it was 16 years he played. 12 years, first 12 or 13 years of his career. I mean, he was drafted by the Warriors. So,
Well, that and he's out of what is it? Is it St. John's?
yep, yeah, he was a.
Back in
And
the
I
early
remember like mid 80s, like early 80s, those great NCAA tournament games that would come on. You'd have St. John's against Georgetown. That's when they had some classic matchups. But Chris Mullin was a stud. Like for 3 years, he was Big East Player of the Year, 3 years in a row, and then he won the John Wooden Award in '85. And then and I think the year before that, he won a gold medal in '84 at the LA Olympics.
Yeah,
So
he won two of those, 80
Yeah.
92, man.
Yeah, so here's the kid. Yeah, the Dream Team, 92. So here's the kid he's 18 years old. Wins the John Wooden Award, drafted in the first round by the Warriors. And, he struggled a little bit when he was his first couple of years in the league. But after that, he was on point.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I got one Chris Mullin card, the 1993-94, back when he was with the Warriors, man. So,
nice. Look at that.
yeah, my one and only basketball set, y'all. Is the 93-94 Topps. So always drawing that reservoir.
I actually found two. Remember the Skybox one?
Dude, yeah, the Jordan from that card set is also pretty collectible too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, this is a good set. I've got two of these sets, which I realize, which is pretty neat. But here's what I love about it. Look at this. Look at that pose in the back. That brings back the 80s, man. And this was in the 90s. It still looks like the 80s to me.
The haircut he was rocking.
Yeah.
Greatness, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm impressed. He played really well. And then he coached as well. He coached his alma mater, St. John's, for four seasons. And I read something that was kind of disheartening. It was kind of sad. But he left coaching because one of his brothers passed away. So he got out of coaching like in 2019. So, but
well, Chris, I was gonna say we wish you the best, man. If you want to come and talk cards with Patrick and me on CardBlitz, give us a shot, man. You're always welcome.
yeah, it'd be great.
Well, you got anything for show and tell? It's been a week since we've done an episode.
So I was going through my stuff like I normally do, and we talked about autographs and everything on the last episode, and it made me think about and then unfortunately Ryan Sandberg passed away 2 days ago, and it brought me up to thinking about this guy, Andre Dawson.
A hawk?
Yeah, in 2005, when Ryan Sandberg was getting inducted in the Hall of Fame, he mentioned to everybody in his induction speech, and I'm going to quote it here, that he mentioned that no other player worked harder, suffered more, or did it better than Andre Dawson, which I thought was pretty cool. So it's kind of tying it all together. And also on this date, July 30th, 1978, Andre Dawson hit 2 home runs in the same inning, which I thought was a nice little tidbit. And he's only one of 5 players to do that. Edward and Encarnacion, A-Rod, Jeff King, and Willie McCovey. So There's your crazy trivia for the
So
day.
I got the trivia. I've got a Hawk mention. We've got Rhino,
It's pretty.
mentioned
And
his passing. And,
the 84 tops is cool too. I like the
yeah,
way that turned out.
great design.
I
And
sent this to him in the mail, and he sent me a little note and signed it, sent it back. So,
he has a clean autograph too. It's really
oh,
nice.
very nice autograph. That's a keeper, man. So,
He still does the through the mail autographs too, even at
yeah,
this point in his life. So for
yeah.
all the young bucks out there, recommend you go and get your Andre Dawson autograph.
Oh, at least look him up. If you don't know who he is, I mean, take a few minutes and just look the guy up. I mean, he was a great player. So, what about you, Kelly?
Just got one in the mail from the past week, and you may fire when ready. You remember that line from this movie?
Oh yeah, I was about to say what
Yeah.
an eight, man. Great.
Yep. 8 is great, man, for this 1977 Star Wars Wonder Bread set. And I'm down to getting one more slabbed and a couple of cards upgraded, and then that run will be done, and I'll be happy.
So let me ask you. I mean, you don't always get eights. You sometimes get sevens, and I mean, eight's pretty good. So
Yeah, especially from back in the day, man,
yeah.
and then a loaf of bread, a card, surviving that, the Wonder
Yeah.
Bread years.
So back in the day, you're like making a bologna sandwich with mustard and bologna only, or just no condiments whatsoever, and checking out the Star Wars card on the Wonder Bread.
Oh, it had to, man. Anytime, like with Post cereal, and on the back of the box there, seeing who was on that, or Kraft
Yeah,
singles, the Kraft singles cheese, those cards. And I heard that there's still some food issued cards out there. I'd like to do a little bit more research.
I
Or
think you're inspiring a topic for another show. I
yeah, I
like
was
it.
gonna say that we can talk to Uncle Rich. I'm
Yeah,
sure he has like a data bank of good info on food issued cards.
I would be very interested to know when it started, what success was, how many were printed out over the years. I mean, that's pretty neat.
Definitely.
So
From what I know, back in the 50s is when it kind of got going. The whole advertising world with TV kind of exploded. But yeah,
yeah,
as far as like print runs and just the fact that like cards were like just mixed in there with like raw meats or whatever back in the 50s,
there,
like
there,
they
there was
didn't
no
survive.
filter. They're like, can you imagine the guy and he's like, "What are we supposed to do? Just stick it in the bag, man. That's all I was told to do."
That's too funny, man. But I'm pretty happy with this. Like I said, this Wonder Bread set. It's 16 cards, and it's something that I've been working on for several years, and just slowly getting a card here and a card there, and it's almost done, man. And after that, it's a couple upgrades, and like I said, done with the Star Wars saga.
That's great. Yeah, good for you. My
Yeah.
next, okay, we've got football season around the corner. So I was going through some of my football stuff, and here's a commemorative football from Super Bowl. Which one was this?
Then 2006.
2007, the end of the 2006 season. So this is 26.
No, no, no. Maybe
No, this is
41.
what is
That looks like 41, right?
XL? Dude, I don't even know. I can't remember
You don't know
my.
your numerals? I think that's 41, man.
It's 41. It's 10 minus 41. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Learn your Roman numerals, sir. Learn
Dude,
some.
that's the sinus medication, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. But this is when Peyton Manning beat the Chicago Bears 29-17. So I remember it being a
His
tough.
first ring, man.
Yeah, it was a tough game. I mean, the Bears played surprisingly better than I thought they would, but Peyton Manning and the Colts were too much. And that's the years of Dallas Clark. I mean, there's some great players on that team.
James, Marvin Harrison.
Yeah,
Then you look at the Bears. And Devin Hester. Wasn't he on that team?
yeah, I think so.
That
No
was the Bears
seven.
that ran one back, and so. But also, I think there was a lot of rain in that Super Bowl. I think
Maybe
it was
that's what I'm.
Tampa that year.
Okay, because the defense was pretty good for the Bears,
Oh
but
yeah.
not enough.
No, no,
So
no, man. Well, I was going to mention, since we last talked, like the very next day, uh, looks like, was it Pete Steinberg of the president of SGC? He stepped away, he stepped down, man, and that's got the hobby like all up in arms right now, and trying to figure out, how to move forward. So I wanted to kind of pick your brain and see what you were thinking about that.
yeah, I was wondering if there was some agreement where maybe one of the competition is going to be boosted by him coming over to something else. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what the ownership or the leadership of like Tag or somebody like that is, but something like a big name like that, maybe it's a power play. Maybe
Well,
he's got something in the works.
I say,
So
I think, when collectors bought SGC, they had the number one and two card grading services kind of cornered,
yeah,
and then Steinberg stays on board for about 18 months,
yeah,
then I think, maybe his vision of what SGC should be and what
yeah,
collectors was thinking, maybe they didn't jive. And so
yeah.
just like, you've had a good 18 months, man. Have a nice day. Here's
Yeah,
a
well,
photo.
I was thinking
Get
like maybe
back in the
he
crowd.
wants to get back to the grassroots way of what SGC maybe was. Maybe he's got that fire still. Maybe he wants to go to a smaller one and try to build it up. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what
but
I
if,
was thinking.
if you're collectors, though, wouldn't you have, Steinberg sign like a non-compete? Because you don't want him
Yeah,
back mudding up the waters. You want to make PSA the most profitable, dominating grading service out there. So the last thing you want is this guy who was your competition was in-house back out on the streets competing again against you. I don't know how long the non-compete would be for, or if
yeah. And hopefully, it's not a negative. You could look at another angle. Hopefully, it's not a negative turn for SGC. Like maybe the plans for SGC were not what were in mind for him, where he thought the vision should go. They're like changing things up, and maybe he saw the writing on the wall. I hope that's not the case because I love SGC, but yeah, I don't know. But in that grading realm, I would think that more competition is usually pretty healthy with all these collectors grading cards. Now you can be the industry leader, but maybe it was enough of a lead in the industry that SGC and PSA feel like they can't be touched by anybody else. Maybe something like that.
Well, Ryan Hogue, the president of PSA, he did an episode, an interview with this guy named Neo from Neo's like cards and collectibles or cards and comics. And apparently, in this interview, Hogue had mentioned something about like they want to see SGC kind of go back to like pre-COVID numbers and kind of become like a boutique card grading service.
Okay. Okay.
When I hear that, I think, okay, you're gonna take the best graders of SGC, bring them over to PSA,
Yeah.
have SGC kind of focus maybe just on vintage, and they'll say, hey, we'll have number one and number two, modern, ultra modern with PSA.
Yeah. The division
SGC,
of
you got your little
yeah.
vintage because that like there's only so many. There's like a finite number of vintage cards out there in the world, anyways.
Right.
So they might say, look, hey, we're happy as long as it's profitable. And then once
Yeah.
SGC is not profitable, they'll be like, well, you got to go.
Maybe the grading price for a vintage by SGC goes up a little bit, and it becomes that type of special product.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
'Cause, I
yeah,
mean, you and I both, we like the tuxedo. I think it's a
yeah,
great look. And that's why I went with them for this Wonder Bread set with the black borders with the tuxedo.
yep,
Um, but if you're a PSA, you want to be number one in the marketplace. And on top of that, you want to make sure that there's no close second. And right now, you got what? You got CGC, BGS, distant fourth might be, or fifth would be like Tag.
yeah.
Because
That's
Tag
what I was.
is new vintage. They're only like 1989 and current or something like that.
Yeah, and I
1990.
think that's what PSA's game. I mean, every new card that comes out, you get it graded. You think of one company, PSA only.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
yeah, it's interesting.
we're going to be
Yeah,
entering.
it remains to be seen. I mean, there's a lot of things happening in this industry, Kelly. There's a lot going on the last few
I would say
weeks.
we're about to enter the age of monopoly, with Fanatics, Topps being like the exclusive distributor of football, basketball, and MLB cards. And then, you got like PSA, maybe that becomes the monopoly of the card grading world. eBay, they're kind of taking the foothold of online card sales. You got
Yeah,
some auction houses that specialize, but when people think of, hey, how do I buy and sell cards quick? They usually think of eBay. Maybe Whatnot, they might compete, but Whatnot, dude, that's like the wild, wild west, I heard.
it is.
It's
It's
unregulated as all
I
get.
get on there and I laugh at some of the stuff that goes on. I'm like, wow, these guys are burning and churning on here. It's
Dude, yeah, $2 cards selling for like $10, trying to hype them up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And
well,
that's not
let's
really
do
my
some.
game, but
Yeah, let's do some foreshadowing. So would now be, let's say now's the good time to pick up old graded PSA cards, like PSA graded cards of old vintage cards. Maybe there's they're gonna, if they slow down that avenue, maybe that becomes a hot topic. Maybe like in 10 years, like, oh, you have a 1975 George Brett rookie. Yeah, is it graded PSA? It is. How did you get that? They don't do that anymore. Like, just saying, guys.
I don't think PSA is going to say that they're going to put an end to their vintage
I know.
services, but SGC, we'll see what happens like in another 5 years. I mean, for the short term, I think SGC is fine, but long term, like I said, if they're not making a profit and their numbers are down, I think that collectors will just say, "Hey, have a nice day. We're going to introduce the Tux brand or the Tux look, PSA/Tux, and
Oh yeah,
move forward with that look."
yeah. And you can get it in multiple colors. You can choose red tux, black tux, depending on the card. Blue tux.
It is there. Money's to be made. PSA will be up for
You
that.
know, that wouldn't surprise me. That would probably be if you could. Yeah,
Color match.
that's a great idea. That's good marketing right there. For
Well,
$5 additional per card, you can pick the background of your tux.
dude,
So,
for that color match, and and people will buy it.
oh, they absolutely they will.
Royal blue, silver, green.
Yep,
Yeah, it's coming.
dude, that's got to come. That's got to be next.
Well, the other thing I wanted to get into is, PSA, they are up in Chicago, I heard, on site with grading. So let's talk a little national, man, because, that's like the Super Bowl of this hobby, everyone getting
Yeah,
together, and wanted to get your thoughts on that, man. Like, do you have any FOMO right now on, not being
not
in Chicago?
not
Because
really,
the
because
benefits are there. So,
yeah, I'd like to know. I'd like to get some feedback on how it's going and how the whole thing ends up.
well, today's day one, Wednesday.
Yeah. So I mean that's what I'm waiting to see. I mean I don't have any fear of missing out by not being there. I'd like to step back and see what happens. See what the trends come out of it. I mean, because I'm interested. I mean, do we know how many dealer tables go to the national?
I have no earthly idea, man.
Like a
I
thousand?
know it's on 2 floors and it's massive, and they got like an autograph section. They got a breaking pavilion. They've got
Probably.
your PG, your PSA, your BGS
Well,
on
well,
site
the
trading.
well the reason that question spiked my. I think it's probably like 2,500 or something because there's a collecticon that's coming to Charlotte, North Carolina, like in 2 weeks, and I just heard on the radio it has over 1,000 tables, and that's Pokemon and all these,
Oh,
all the
it'll be
collectibles.
packed.
It's huge. I mean, so I'm like, the Nationals got to be 2,500, 3,000 tables, wouldn't you think, at least?
No,
Or,
I would
or
say at least 1,500, maybe
yeah.
2,000. We'd have to look it up online, but
But I think it's more the quality, not the quantity. You're going to have some bigger dealers that'll be there.
that and you mentioned the TCG/Pokemon World. That's probably going to have a big impact on the national this year as well, because
Yeah.
we've seen it in our own growth with this show over the past like 6 months, man. We've seen Pokemon go from, hey, it's here, to majority of a card show being Pokemon based.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I've talked to my kids, and my son got all his Pokemon out and started organizing them this past weekend. And he
Hmm.
goes, Daddy, how come you don't like Pokemon? I'm like, that's a good question. Whenever I watch YouTube videos, Dad, there's always a guy like you, or maybe a little bit younger, but there's dads out there that collect Pokemon with their kids. I'm like, it's a fair question. I did baseball and football cards. I'm more of sports collectibles. So
Well, you might have
it's
to
got
open
the
a couple
same
of packs for
drive.
the kiddos, and like for my daughter, she likes the artwork, and so McDonald's, they had a 16 card Pokemon set come out, like I think in February or March
Oh yeah,
here. And so she was shy of 3 cards, and she worked it. She's trading and got those 3 cards to make her complete set. We put them in top loaders so she could
nice.
keep them. Obviously it's mass produced. It's McDonald's, so billions served. But
Right, right.
if that's her gateway, like mine is Star Wars cards. Whatever. If she wants to get in the hobby and she's like, "Hey, I'm into sports or I'm into TCG," so be it. Like, you're a kid, enjoy the hobby.
Yeah, yeah. At least it's fueling. It's continuing to fuel the hobby of the idea of collecting. What's the reason behind it? It's there's a lot of different things for everybody. But I think the national is it's something I want to. I mean, we should probably recap something maybe next show that we do, and just see what just keep a tab on what happened and what the new trends are, because
Well, I
it's
mean,
interesting to know.
between like Sports Collectors Digest and all the YouTube videos and all the
Yeah,
social media, we should be able to pick up some good stories. While that's going on right now, I am curious to like on the memorabilia sales based off of the incident that happened in
that's what I'm talking
Indiana,
about. Yeah,
and see how that's going, and then the whole like uptick in vintage.
yeah,
Are dealers pricing their cards fairly? Are they marking them up a little bit higher, going, "Hey, this is a beautiful 1954 whatever card," and adding maybe 10 or 20% to the bottom line to help cover their costs?
right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, plus those dealers at the National, I mean, they're gonna have top. I mean, just going there to look at those cards, that's about the FOMO that I would have is like it would be so cool to see you know,
1952 Topps Mickey Mantle or a
yeah,
Hanukkah
PSA 10
or
or even or whatever may be there. It's going to be wow, with armed guards standing in the corners watching a couple tables, but just the quality of the cards they have.
well, whenever I go to like the Dallas Card Show, Heritage Auctions, they're a big supporter and vendor there. And they have like encased glass displays,
Yeah,
like all these high-end, cool,
that's pretty cool.
heritage auction items. They're like, hey, check out this 1966 Batman or this comic book of Superman from back in the 40s or 50s or 30s, and it's neat, man, just to see that there. So yeah, the National, take that times 10, I'd imagine, as far as like
Yeah,
in the candy store, looking at the museum pieces and just jaw hitting the ground.
boy, it would be hard to go every single day while you're there. I mean, your brain would just go, it would explode. Mine would.
Well,
You
and
get
then
to
after the show during the day, at night, I've been seeing online. There's all sorts of like trade nights at different spots throughout, near the convention center or at the convention center. So those are long days, man. You get there at 9 or 10 in the morning, and next thing you know, it's 2 in the morning, and you're like still sitting here trading and buying and selling, and yeah, you got to have some deep pockets, man.
you better be sharp as a tack because you're going to make a deal where you're like, oh wait, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh yeah, once it's done, man. And then
Yeah.
I think there's a Thursday night like YouTube get together for like people that watch YouTube videos or folks that are content creators. It's a meet and greet big party done by Mike Moynihan here in Dallas. He
Okay.
he does that every year up there at the National. It'd be nice to see Mike do something here locally, for at the Dallas Card Show, a meet and greet kind of thing. But he's going to say the National is the Super Bowl, so it's a must attend event if you're in the hobby. But people like you and I, we have jobs, so we
Yeah.
can't, and so it'd be nice if we could have it in our own backyard here in Dallas,
Yeah. I would agree with that.
or maybe have
So,
the National over there in Charlotte and in your backyard.
geez, it would be. I mean, it wouldn't. If it's in Atlanta, I would definitely drive down for the day.
Is that a far drive for you?
It's like 3.5 hours. So,
Charlotte to
but
Atlanta, so not too
yeah,
bad of a drive, and just find a hotel and
yeah, just do a hotel for go there after work. Get a hotel that night before, and then go hit it all day long, and then
yeah.
drive
You
home.
only need to go for 1 or 2 days. Just
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool,
So
man.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they do that the next, what their schedule is and how they pick it. So
CardBlitz Nation, give us your thoughts, man. If you're out there at the National, give us some thoughts. Reach out to us at info@blitzweekly.com with an email, or there at the bottom of the YouTube video under comments. Reach out to us socially. Let Patrick and I know what you're seeing and what you think. We're all ears.
yeah,
Well,
very
dude,
interesting.
let's talk Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, we've got a game tomorrow night
We do.
against the Detroit Lions against your San Diego Chargers.
Los Angeles Chargers. They moved back home.
Oh, that's right, Los
It
Angeles. Well,
started in LA and ended up in LA.
it's very confusing. Well, let's call it Lions and Chargers,
Yeah, that's probably better, man.
it's a unique matchup. I think I like it. So I think it's going to be good. And one thing that I want to take away from that is I want to see Omarion Hampton from UNC. He's a rookie running back that was drafted in like first pick, 22nd pick, first round, 22nd pick. and he was a beast as a Tar Heel here in the, obviously everybody around here loves the Tar Heels and Duke. So I got to watch a lot of him, but apparently he's going to play for the Chargers a few downs, a few series. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
was
to be
gonna say, I
watching
wouldn't
that.
expect the veterans to get more than a series. And then
Yeah.
after that'll be all the second string, third string, and guys trying to make it out of camp and onto the team.
I like watching the QBs battle, in preseason for that third spot, or maybe even a backup spot, depending on how well they play. And then you get your like fifth, sixth deep wide receivers, you know,
Oh,
4 or 5 deep running backs. But by the end,
scrapping
by
to make it.
yeah, by mid-season, some of those guys may get a chance to play.
Hmm.
And doing fantasy football, I'm kind of like keeping an eye on. Oh yeah, I remember seeing that guy. Now it may
Art
be
collector, I remember seeing that guy.
yeah, and as a waiver. So and getting a card that's first.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll pull out that draft pick card or that prospect card out of my pack that I opened up.
I mean,
So
it just to me it launches the season. It's a kickoff of the season, and it's a huge event. With the inductees into the Hall of Fame, and it commemorates a lot of the awesome things about football and why we watch it and why we enjoy playing as a kid growing up and watching
yeah,
these guys get on the gridiron and do their thing. And next thing you know, man, it'll be from now until that first week of February on that Sunday
yeah,
night. Then we start the process again for the next season.
yeah. It's just going to make me want to go to the Hall of Fame in Canton. It's going
Oh,
to
I'd
make me
love to, man. I
every
could
time I
probably be there
watch
for
that.
days, man.
Yeah, I still want to go.
Have you ever
So
been up to Cooperstown?
no, I haven't been to any of the Hall of Fames. So I got
Yeah,
to do that.
knocking out the NFL and MLB ones. To me, those would be huge. And I'm sure in NBA, if you make it up to Canada, I'm sure they've got their Hall of Fame up there as well for hockey.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely football first, baseball second. I mean, those two would be huge. So
Yeah, and then for football and baseball, you could be there for days, I'd imagine, just looking at all the memorabilia and reading the stories and learning about players and
oh yeah, yeah, you're right. You're like, okay, let's do the West Wing before lunch. We'll finish the West Wing after lunch. We'll come back tomorrow, do the do the East Wing. I
hmm.
bet, I'm sure. So
All right. Well, and then talking baseball, man, you got the MLB trade deadline. So I was going to ask how you think that's going to impact, some of these, you got real world impact with on-field performance for these teams. You got
yeah,
the fantasy impact, and then you've also got the card world impact. And kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that, man.
yeah. I don't. I'm like I looked, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago. What players may be available to go from the NL to the AL or the AL to the NL. I didn't see any really big names this year. So unless I'm missing something, because they all look like situational crossovers or trades. So
Hmm.
like a team, obviously they always try to address issues for their team, but some of them were like more like just getting depth, not necessarily a guy coming over as a starter every day. Um, I think Josh Naylor, going over to Seattle. I mean, that's a kind of a good, perfect example. He was a really good player for the D-backs, but I don't know, does he an everyday player now? I mean, maybe he's a platoon guy. I don't know.
In Arizona, they're basically blowing up their team. I think was it Perez? They're going to shop him around, and they got a couple of bullpen guys that they're going to move on. So and then you look at a team like Seattle, like the Rangers. They're going to be buyers because they're trying to get in that postseason. So it'll be interesting. And then as far as like baseball cards go, you're right. Unless a player gets traded to like a major market, it's
Yeah,
probably minimal impact, even if they're
I
on.
don't think. Yeah, I can't see it. It does. It's not like. Ooh, we got to keep an eye on this guy now. I got to I got to get his rookie card out, or should I? It's. I think it's remains to be seen what happens. But an injury can happen, and then all of a sudden, and not to say that Cal Raleigh has success this year because of an injury, but those guys pop out of nowhere sometimes, and you're like, wow, he's if he's not a superstar, he should be. So I know his cards probably don't carry that much of a premium yet, but the guy's doing some unconscious things at the bat. So
Well, to say, man, maybe our viewers or you and I can do some research and some the players that were traded and went on to bigger, better things with the new team. I mean, the only like you think of like a Roger Maris who went from was like the Indians over to the Yankees.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like some like he went from that and grew. So I wonder how many of those stories are out there. We'd have to do
yeah,
some research or viewers, Card Blitz Nation, let us know, man.
yeah. He had an interesting like he went Indians, then A's, the old A's Kansas City team, then over to the Yankees. So he was just kind of like, oh yeah, go ahead. This guy's, he's getting shopped around a little bit. So you never know what could happen though. That's for
Well,
sure.
yeah, that's what I'm curious. How many of those stories are out there in the over the years, and then obviously you look at someone like Freddie Freeman recently from the Braves to the Dodgers. And he got a World Series ring with each team. Well,
That's right.
let's circle back, man. Let's give you a little stump question, and then we'll get out of your hair because I know you got
All
things to
right.
do, man.
All right, man.
You ready to get stumped?
Hit, yep, hit me.
All right, going back to the NFL Hall of Fame game. Which year was the first year of the NFL Hall of Fame game? Was it,
Ooh,
here are your four choices. Was
yeah.
it A, 1962? Is it B, 1967? Is it C, 1970? Or is it D, 1972?
Ooh. Hall of Fame game, and this was preseason.
Yes, NFL Hall of Fame game preseason.
I'm gonna go,
1962, 1967, 1970, 1972.
I'm gonna go with the most recent. I'm gonna go with 1972.
All right, 1972, and just like the rest of America, oh, sorry, only 13.3% of America. You're
Oh,
wrong.
ah, oh, no.
1972 was that was a big season for the Miami Dolphins, I believe.
Right,
I think they went
right.
undefeated that year and then beat the Redskins 14-7 in the
Yep.
Super Bowl 7. 1962 was the first year
Oh,
of the
really? So
NFL Hall of Fame game.
I was thinking I was thinking the other extreme. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that.
Apparently, it opened in Canton in 1962.
Okay.
And so that was
Interesting.
the inaugural event to kick off the season and to get that place going.
See, if I would have visited, I would have known this. So
Yeah, you would have had that postcard. Look, Kelly.
I would have kicked myself. I would have been like, that's something that I would absorb and never forget. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty cool stat.
Mhm. Uh,
So
yeah, no, to like I said, it's always the mark of the new season, and you get all excited and hopes and dreams of your favorite NFL team making it to the Super Bowl and winning it. So it's on, man. We
yeah,
are we're about about a day away from kickoff, man.
yeah, it'll be interesting. It's always strange when you're watching it and it's still about 96 degrees outside. You're like, okay,
That's here in the South for both of us, but I think up north
right.
it's a little bit cooler. It might be mid 80s, late high 80s, I'd reckon.
Well, once it gets dark, it feels better. But you go outside and let the dog out or take the trash out. You're like, whoa, am I watching football? It's kind of warm outside.
Down
Kind
here
of
in the
puts,
South, definitely, man. Here in Dallas, you go outside, it's 103 right now or 102. It's heating up
yeah,
there.
yeah. That's crazy.
Well,
But dang,
maybe
I got
maybe maybe
stumped.
our viewers will put in the comments who they want, who their team is to win the Super Bowl. So yeah, you guys watching, let us know on Card Blitz, like who you rooting for and which cards you're gonna be looking for, with this upcoming rookie class, and just share some thoughts on the national and SGC/PSA. Just we want to read, we want to get your thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, and I think the game will be entertaining tomorrow because I watched an AI or read some AI generated thing about what the NFL season would look like. And obviously they had the Lions winning their division, I think like 12-5, but they had the Chargers 10-7 in theirs. So both teams are slated to make the playoffs. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see what these third, fourth, fifth string guys can do.
Hey, did
Be interesting
AI
to see.
give you a heads up on the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't get that far. I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't read that. I don't think they. I don't think. Well, AI can't tell you what's right or wrong. They just give you facts and just spit it out, and it becomes something.
All
So,
right. I was just wondering if AI is able to chat GPT if they're able to say, hey, type in a prompt and go, hey, who will win the Super Bowl for the 2025 season? Maybe I'll do that for homework for our next
Yeah.
episode and share that with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it.
All right, man. Well, as we're wrapping up, any closing thoughts?
No, it's gonna be a good week, and I'm looking forward to next week. So
All right. Well, CardBlitz Nation, again, thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up, tell a friend, subscribe, spread the word, and we'll catch you on the next episode.